Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will teach you the example of summarization. A summary is a shortened passage which retains the essential information of the original. It is a fairly brief restatement in one's own words of the contents of a passage. One simply has to report back what the writer has said without making any kind of significant opinions or judgments. It's a skill worth the time and effort as students will use it throughout their academic careers and even later. It also provides benefit in reading, writing and critical thinking skills. So without any further delay, let's get into the video. So now let's look at the passage. Summarize the following article about the reasons for child abuse in not more than 120 words. So what you have to do, you have to summarize this article. You have to summarize this passage and the topic of the passage is child abuse. And you have to summarize this passage in not more than 120 words. So let's look at the passage. The childhood years are supposed to be the best times of one's life, playing and having fun, yet there are many children who are deprived of this childhood. They are tortured and verbally and physically abused. There is no reason or excuse for child abuse. Abusers claim they do it because of the stress of work. Child abusing housewives say they feel harassed by a crying child and are unable to curb their own fury, especially if no support is received from anyone. This is not surprising since support is extended to a victim of child abuse more readily than to the perpetrator. Occasionally, parents may vent their frustrations on their child if they fight and quarrel with each other. In cases like there, it is the children who are the victims. In this modern age where both parents are usually holding jobs, children are left with babysitters and nurseries. Abuse by these carers may occur when there are too many children to be minded. The disappearance of the extended family system is partly to be blamed for this incidence. Crowded homes and financial problems can also lead to child abuse. When there are too many mouths to feed, parents feel the pressure and vent their anger on a child. Substance abuse is another factor which increases the incidence of child abuse. Under the influence of alcohol or drugs, a parent may not know what he or she may be doing, or rather knows what he or she is doing but is not bothered at all. A drug addict may experience mood swings and is easily provoked by a crying baby. Thus, we see and read horrifying reports of a child being savagely tortured and dumped elsewhere like garbage. Psychologists believe that child abusers may have been victims of abuse themselves. Thus, in anger and hatred, they repeat the vicious cycle of abuse. Some have no love for the children they abuse. Some have been brought up to believe that children should be beaten in order to maintain control. These are troubled people who need help. A home is supposed to be a heaven where children ought to feel safe and secure. Unfortunately, more often than not, the home is also where a child is abused. Whatever the reasons for the abuse, something must be done to stop the cruelty and help these parents who simply cannot cope with parenting. Parents-to-be should be counseled and inculcated with parenting skills. The Child Protection Act, which was passed in Parliament in 1991, does not effectively prevent child abuse. Stricter enforcement is necessary. Thus, it requires a commitment from each individual to help families with victims. And troubled parents are the perpetrators. So now let's look at the answer. So now we have to write the summary of this passage. So let's look at the answer. Child abuse can occur when parents are unable to cope with stress from work and family commitments. It may also occur when children are left with childminders who may be too busy with other kids. Parents who have financial problems may take it out on the children. Substance abuse may also result in child abuse where the addicts may not know what they are doing till it is too late. Another reason could be due to these child abusers being victims of child abuse themselves. They treat their children the way they were treated and it becomes a vicious cycle. Positive steps should be taken to support and help parents or guardians to cope with parenting. So the summary is of 116 words, as it was said in the question that it should not be more than 120 words. So it is under 120 words. So you don't have to write the summary in 2 to 3 pages, because summary is a shortened passage, so you have to write it as short as you can. So this answer of the summary retains the essential information of the original. So you have to write the answer in this way. So friends, I hope you enjoyed this English lesson series and learned a lot. So you can continue studying with me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching.